Shit,
Leo Daddy.
lawfully arms here too. Oh shit, tactical. I feel like tactical muffin top just ended a chat or something.
I did, bro. I
Yeah.
tried to leave 2 minutes early.
I missed that. I missed that. I wasn't there for that. I saw your link, but I was busy doing stuff. I apologize, good sir.
I will send it to everybody, even if you don't show up, because I love y'all.
Oh, snarf.
But I'd rather be here with you. So
I try to show up.
I got super gay in here.
Yeah, I mean,
It's super good.
it was fine like a minute ago, and then Leo came in. Fucking Leo ruined.
Damn, it was my fault.
yeah. Hey, in Furnace, quick question.
nothing.
You know that when we were doing that gun challenge, can you drop me a link in my Discord for that shoddy you had? Because I want to stack like 4 of those at a location.
Was that the rock armory generation? Yeah.
Yeah, that seems like a really good idea logistically for parts and everything. Oh, I like
Which
that.
one? What shotgun are we talking about? I don't
It's
even
like
know, dude. This is my chat. I don't even know what's
muffins,
going on.
It was like 200 muffins, and it runs either 870 or Mossberg 500 attachments.
Oh.
And it already came like tacked out.
The Rock Island generation.
Yeah,
gauge.
Yeah.
How many shotguns do you guys have? Because I already have like 3 of them.
I only have 3.
I have 4.
I have
I
1.
only have 0.
PR80. Over under Stoker over under when I do my FUD nights, and then
What's up, dude?
that pump.
Yeah, I mean, I've got my the first gun I ever bought was a fucking Maverick 88, and I watched a Never Enough Ammo video and cut down the barrel to legal length and did all the things, you know.
I had a nice
then-
590 and I sold it like a fucking idiot.
No.
And then I've got 870 that I actually bought from Never Enough Ammo, the wooden one that Duke wanted, but I beat him to a punch.
Oh no, dude.
And then I also have a side-by-side shotgun that was the cheapest one on Gunbroker when no one was looking at side-by-sides. So I got it for like $100, dude. But it's actually pretty fucking nice.
100% every time.
And it came with like a 28-inch barrel, so I cut that bitch down to fucking stagecoach protecting length, you know?
And then when Mad Max happens, you're going to chop it down to put behind your shoulder length.
Yeah, like 1/4 inch length.
Yeah.
Measure the size of my penis, and that will be the length of the barrels.
That's too.
So you're gonna let me see the crimp on the shotgun shell.
Yeah.
What is that noise?
Leo.
God damn it, Leo! You come in here with your racist shit that you fucking spew all the time.
It looked like
Leo.
somebody fapping. Sound like
I don't know if anybody in here can be fapping. I don't know.
Well, anyway, folks, this is the Gay Frog Chat, the once upon a time, once weekly Gay Frog Chat that we would do, but I've been dealing with things lately, and I haven't really been in like the best mind state to like put shows together and be happy in front of a camera and talk to people and stuff and do things. So rather than like subject you guys to me being all fucking melancholy and fucking angry all the time, I decided to take a little break for a little bit. But I'm trying to get back into the swing of things, so bear with me. The Gay Frog Chat is a weekly panel discussion where we go into different subjects, mostly dealing with gay frog things such as Alex Jones topics and fucking conspiracy theories, but also dealing with guns and like fucking politics and whatever the fuck's going on. It's my show. We can talk about what I want, bitches, so fucking suck it. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a good night. We are joined by an Ohio Patriot. How do you do, Ohio?
Well, I'm in the middle of selling my house right now and trying to figure out if I can stay till the end of the year or not because I can't find anything else currently. So
My camper,
we're going to
dude.
find out this week if the offer goes through, and if it does, hopefully it does. The guy and I will be starting to work together on a potential rental agreement till the end of the year is what it is then. So
I was watching Heavy D Sparks. Do you guys know who that is?
No.
He does like
I think I heard of that.
Sounds familiar.
recovery vehicles and fucking off-road vehicles and fucking buy shit and sell. It's kind of a weird channel, but they found a boater home. So it's a motor home with a detachable boat. That's the motor home part of the fucking vehicle. So it's like a van in the front. Oh man, I want one of these so bad. You can take it anywhere.
Sure.
That's what you should get. instead of a house, a boat or home. Vandrake, what's up, dude?
Fucking bitches getting money, you know. Same old, same old.
Fuck these hoes. Get a grip. Nice, man. Good to see you. Lawfully armed with the Magpul.
What up?
Dude, I saw Magpul magazines on a certain state armory of the Palmetto for $4 a magazine if you buy 10 of them.
Whoa,
Wow.
are you serious?
Better do it.
I think that was this morning that I saw it. Unfortunately, I live in a restricted state that does not allow me to buy such things, but for those of you who might need a magazine, I would check out the State Armory.
I'm going there right now. Damn it! Every chat I'm on with you, I spend money.
Yeah, I know, I do that. Leo, what's up, dude? How you doing, man? With your racism and your fucking what did you come in with? I forget what it was. You're interrupting things.
Well, I'm doing the opposite of Vandrake. I'm not fucking bitches, and I'm going broke. So
Shit!
that's me.
Yeah, that's
Get your bonus hole out.
man.
Hey, give me another week. That's probably gonna happen.
Times is tough in the shy. Bro, I was talking to a buddy of mine who went to Thailand like years ago, you know, for like a motorcycle trip. Apparently you can get hose in Thailand for like $30 because like that there is like fucking $1,500 here, you know?
Yeah, but I got a story about Tosetti. And Tosetti came back with a drip.
Well, that's the thing. You can't get he was saying you can't get the coconut girls. Right? The coconut girls are out on the beach and it's like the fucking legitimate places. That's all the
You just got muffed real quick.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
do.
like
Yeah.
real fast. I mean, but what are you gonna expect? Like, that's what people go to. That's literally what people go to Thailand for, is to rent those girls for cheap.
That's
They
correct.
can't get nothing here at home, so it's like they fuck so many guys and they don't make you wear a condom.
So Leo, all you got to do is make it to Thailand and $30, bro. Fucking no money and hose. Best of both worlds.
I mean, yeah, that
Well,
sounds
I'm not
reasonable.
seeing this mag deal.
I guess I gotta import my condoms though.
Yeah, you gotta
just
watch
bring 'em
going
with
over
you.
to the bars in that place because there'll be certain drinks that they want you to give them, and that'll be like their escort drink.
Yeah, that's the thing, that you buy a drink and it's like 5 times the price of a normal drink, but it's still like cheaper than a drink here. So like the American dudes don't even care.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
there it's $5, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, you're like $5 for a beer. That's a deal. It's like fucking
Right.
$70 or something for them, you know. Anyway, on that note, Infernus, how's it going, man?
Good. Just got back off vacation.
Vacaciones. ¿A dónde van? Where did you go?
We stayed 5 days in Roseburg and then went to Crater Lake. Like camped for 5 days, and then we went to Tillamook area, like Oregon Beach.
What's Crater Lake? Is that a volcano or is that a fucking asteroid?
It's a volcano that filled in with like rainwater and glacier water. It's
Okay.
super beautiful. I'll send you a picture. It's one of the bluest lakes in the world, and I think it's the deepest lake in the United States.
Dude, there's some lake in Africa that's in a crater that like slowly carbon dioxide from the fucking volcano leaks into the fucking deep waters of this lake. And what does carbon dioxide do in water when you pressurize it? Oh, it makes soda. Like the fucking whole fucking bottom of this lake is like carbonated fucking soda pop water, right? And then one day there was a fucking earthquake that shook everything. And then all of the fucking carbon dioxide, like for years, had been storing up at the bottom of this lake, got released all at one time and killed this entire fucking village of like African dudes, you know? I guess there's probably more than just dudes. But yeah, there was like some anthropologists coming through and like they just kept finding dead bodies and they thought it was like some outbreak of E. coli or Ebola or fucking who knows what, some fucking crazy new shit. But it was just carbon dioxide. So now what they do is they have this fucking pipe that goes down to the bottom of the lake and it just sucks water from the bottom and shoots it to the top and it just releases a little bit of carbon dioxide all the time and it never builds up. Anyway.
All right, I'm back.
I'm not finding your mag sale, but I think I'm gonna buy this case with 7 mags for 100 muffins.
Yeah, I remember that story.
I award you no points. May God have mercy on your soul. Tactical Muffin Top. They didn't have the magazines?
I can't find them. They might be sold out. They have a bunch of shit sold out already.
Well, let me look at my email. It was an email that I was looking at this morning. Maybe I'm remembering a different deal.
Maybe I should look at my email.
Yeah, do you sign up for the fucking Palmetto emails? You got to get the Palmetto emails. Yeah, save over. Oh, dang it! It's save over $4 per magazine. That's what it was.
But still,
bastards
this
got
ain't bad.
me.
They got a nickel boron bolt carrier group. I might stag for my other PSA build with 8 mags. Ain't bad for 100 muffins still. 130.
You know, that's one thing that I will always spend money on is the bolt carrier group on an AR-15. Because I've gone through some cheap ass ones with the cheap ass like fucking Palmetto or whatever standard fucking bolt carrier group, and had not the best luck all the time. You know, it's like sometimes a little stoppage or a little stovepipe. But if you buy like a Yankee Hill or something nice, then my experience anyway is that it works better. But you know, I'm just one dude. I don't see everything.
No, there's 2 top YouTube gun channels that both did reviews on Palmetto shit lately, and they did say their cheaper stuff. It's out of spec.
Yeah, I agree.
It works. It'll work, but I wouldn't want to go to war with it now.
Well, I mean, the main 2 things would be the barrel and the bolt carrier group. So if you get like the cheap shit, as long as you get like the more expensive barrel, then you're usually okay. And then if you get the upgraded bolt carrier group, again, you're usually okay. But I don't know. Infernus is here, so I'm probably wrong.
No, you're always right.
I believe in you.
Dookie baby.
What up, man? What's going on?
You're here. You're awake. You're alert. You're not falling asleep. You made it all the way through the intro until I called. Dude, that's been the opposite sometimes. Like you've been here, and by the time we call your name,
I'm gone.
It's already too late.
I'm on Rumble doing chats every day. So check me out on Rumble. Check me out on the YouTubers. So there you go, man.
Yeah, we are streaming currently on the YouTube, the Twitter, or the X, whatever you want to call it, and on Rumble, because we're always on Rumble every time we stream here, because we're cool like that.
Duke is still energized from last night's bracket.
Don't get me started.
Oh man,
y'all are horrible, all horrible.
You know, sometimes you got to keep your heart's desires to yourself, because people will sabotage them for you if you let them be known.
Mm-hmm.
As sad as that is in the world that we live, even your friends will do that to you, right, Duke?
That's right. Rip your heart out. It's exactly what they do.
Well, let's go ahead and get to some memes and stuff on Twitter like we always do. Oh, wait, we got to get to my fucking page. Yeah. I love my country, not the fucking government. Get it right. And that's true. I love our country. From sea to shining sea. The people, the land, the mountains, the lakes, the rivers, the oceans, the animals, the nature. I love it all. The fucking government can suck a big fat penis.
Yep.
And that's all I have to say about that.
I'm starting not to like half the people too, so.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who are kind of...
Man, tell me about it.
But I mean, most people on an individual basis, if you give them the chance, even if you would like disagree with them politically on stuff, if you like sit down and talk to them, you can... I can usually find something that I like about them, and I can usually like show them some part of my personality or whatever that they can like about me. Not always. There's a good fucking, I don't know, however many percent, like 1 in 20 people that just fucking hate my guts, and there's nothing I can do.
I think a big problem is just the biasness and like people's unwillingness to change their mind about things. Like Friday and Saturday nights, I work at the Hyatt Hotel, and the desk clerk up there, the dude complains everything that he complains about, and he's not like a sleep sheep. You know how most people that are aware of what the fuck's going on and like the bullshit and everything from the government. They're never Democrats. They always think conservative. But like with him, he's just like the exact opposite. Like he's by default, he's a default Trump supporter, but he fucking hates Trump and doesn't trust Trump. Like, and I tell him like, dude, everything that you complain about, you vote for it. So everything that you mentioned when you talk to me, and I'm surprised about the shit that you know because you support Democrats. It's like it's weird because you're literally a default conservative.
You know, there's a lot of
It's-
people who are like that. Who are like, I'm thinking of like the BLM types and also the I don't know, like just
Blue
super
collar
leftist, like purple hair
Democrats.
types. You know,
Oh.
that are like
Yeah.
anti-war because they don't want war, and they're anti-big pharma, even though their party wants them to be like on board and fucking take the jab or whatever. They're like, fuck that shit, and they know about like thimerosal and atrazine and all of the stuff in the water that are turning the frogs gay and all that shit, right? And they're against all of it, and they would be on this chat and agree with most of the shit that we say. The difference is the prescription, because their prescription for the disease would be more government power, more government overreach, more like control centrally to be able to stop these problems and hold people accountable. Versus I think our solution would be less central
government.
control, less power,
Yeah.
less government, because that's the root of the problem is the government has too much power. But
Yeah, he thinks the opposite of that. He thinks the Republicans want more government. I'm like,
Well,
you know
they
know
do in
everything.
they do in certain areas.
Right, some of them do.
I think the
Majority of them
party
that are
as a
empowered
whole.
do.
I think the
Well,
party
the
as a whole
rhinos,
want
yeah.
less. Yeah, I think the
Yeah, there's a lot of
the
war
party
hawks.
as a whole wants less government, but like the rhinos want
That was the
war, but
Republicans
they
maybe
want
30
less
years
government.
ago, but that hasn't been the case for a long time.
yeah, unfortunately now like the Democrats are the party of war hawk, of fucking
And big pharma.
Yeah,
like First Amendment censorship and big pharma and like all of the things that the Republicans were known and hated for in the 90s and the early 2000s through the Bush era are all the things that the Democrats have like flipped on and now they're doing. Like the neocons are all Democrats now. Not all of them, but there's like I don't know, what would you call that?
Yeah, but I mean,
Neoliberals.
again, it depends on what subject you're talking about.
Yeah, and that's true.
The popular Republicans are the same way on certain subjects. That's the part that the common U.S. citizen needs to understand is the two parties we have right now both hate you.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, the only time that the two-party system gets along and agrees on shit is when they're fucking us over. Like when
Exactly.
when they're voting for like COVID relief, or they're voting for Ukraine funding, or they're voting for, I don't know, go
Patriot
back to like,
Act.
yeah,
Any
exactly,
omnibus
post
bill.
9/11 stuff. Yeah, exactly, dude. Like that's
Or
when they
they-
all get together and agree,
Right, or they voting to give themselves a raise.
or to not be audited ever, or not be held accountable and be able to do insider trading with impunity, without being questioned. Yeah, all that stuff.
They pretend to fight with each other to keep us occupied because now too many citizens treat this like a fucking sports ball team.
Well, it is a bit WWF-y, isn't it? Like WWE versus WWF, and like, what side are you on? Are you a Randy Savage guy, or are you a Hulk Hogan guy?
The old Monday Night Wars.
Undertaker.
WCW
Come here,
versus
brother.
WWF.
Yeah,
I'm an
WCW
Undertaker guy.
Nitro versus Raw. Of course,
Hey,
you
Will,
are.
Oh, and it turns out who killed WCW was the fucking executives.
Right.
a well-established franchise, Disney. Disney, a well-established franchise, gay shit, and they're replacing it. That's how it always works. Why is Disney so bad? Is it because the neoliberals are in charge now and no one ever got educated and there's too much thimerosal and the fucking vaccines that are making everyone fucking not be able to think, and you combine that with a fucking education system that like specifically stifles fucking like critical thought and like storytelling is, you know, made to be like this fucking thing that, I don't know, like moves a fucking message forward rather than just tells a good story, you know, like all this shit.
Unfortunately, the person that took over, she's a fucking idiot.
Well, there's that
and
too.
The people that were in charge before, you know, they propped her up when she really didn't know what the fuck she's doing. She was a shitty producer, and how she got the reins of Disney is mind blowing.
It's almost like Biden. How he got in power? Well, they fucking propped him up, and they were hiding how bad he was.
Mm-hmm.
Oh Lord, dude! I was thinking, I really like Kennedy. I was listening to him earlier today, and I actually really like Kennedy. A lot of the things that he stands for, and there's probably some stuff that I disagree with that he would fucking try to do with the government or whatever. But there's a lot of things that I'm really on board with him.
He you see there's a video of him. He's doing an interview in his home, and looks like his mother-in-law or somebody comes in, and they're like, "I'm sorry, but there's a rattlesnake in the driveway, and the grandkids are out there," and so he like jumps up, runs outside, and gets like a stick, and ends up not only like getting the rattlesnake off, but he keeps it alive. And ends up grabbing this thing, puts it in a pillowcase, and ends up transferring it like in a proper place. But how many other candidates? I know it's stupid, but it's small. It's things like that just make him more of a well-rounded person that I more enjoy than just seeing other candidates who wouldn't be able to do that. Things like that, simple things. But
the people that run that are like that, Duke, they won't win.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I know he won't win. He has no chance. He's got no chance. He's got a bad chance of not coming out of this. I mean, well.
I'm just saying the few candidates that have ran the last, 4 or 5 times that seem to be pretty decent people who seem to be someone that given the data they would make a decision off of, just get destroyed. I mean, they just don't win.
It's because they have their
on the right end. It doesn't matter if they're right or left.
There were things that he was talking about that he did in his past, though, that made me be like, that I didn't know about. Like some of the environmentalism shit that he did that was actually effective, and I can't tell you what it was, but it was like, oh, that's cool. And then how many times he's gone after big pharma in litigation, like as an expert, because he was a Harvard PhD doctor or something like that.
Yeah.
Is what he went to school for. And so he used that degree to learn everything he could about vaccines and vaccine damage and like radio wave damage and all of these things, and like go after fucking different industries that are harming people by using his like expertise, knowledge, and petitioning courts and showing up as an expert witness and helping fucking lawyers. And it's kind of cool, like of all the things you could do with that, you could just sit back and make a bunch of money as a doctor, or I'm a Kennedy, I'll just like sit back and do cocaine and fuck bitches like fucking Biden's son, or whatever. But he did more. I don't know. He was 14 when his fucking dad died. I didn't know that either. So he was like there with him in fucking California when his dad got shot.
Well, the problem is, I don't think they want the people that make sense. They want the people that are just going to be a puppet.
Yeah, one of RFK's children was actually, I think, a toddler when he was assassinated.
Well, I think that's why they didn't let him run as a Democrat. Because they knew that Biden wasn't looking good, and if they actually had a true primary, fucking 100%, there's no one else who's a Democrat who's stronger than Kennedy right now, and Kennedy would fucking totally fucking primary him and win. Therefore, make him an independent, and then we can fucking attack him.
Split the vote. But I'm so glad they did that, because that's going to split the vote. That's going to terribly split the Democrat vote.
Well, it's the exact same reason when we look back at the 60s. It's exactly why they called RFK at that time, because they knew he was going to try to run for 68, and they're like, we can't have that, because he was going to literally unite races at that point.
But you gotta. We never go against a standing president when they have a chance for a second term. So it's just the way things are.
And they're wrong, and they need fixed.
No, I agree, but
what are they gonna do though? Because like, here's the thing: like, Biden ain't giving up. He's said several times, like, I am not giving up. And if they can want for him to give up, and they can push him to give up, and they can try to get him to give up. But unless they use like the 14th Amendment or whatever it is, I forget which one.
That, like, I think they're going to do that. I really 100% think they're going to do that.
Hey,
but how long is that going to take?
He did a good job, and he answered all the
every question.
Well, the question is, how long is that going to take? And that's going to, and also the other question is, what happens to the Biden donation money for running for president, like all of that for like ads and stuff?
That's why they won't do it. They're going to give him a medical problem. Harris will pull in a VP. She's going to keep all the campaign money. It's their only play to keep the money. That's all they care about.
There's already a bunch of donors pulling on Biden at this point.
Well,
See, my thought was-
unfortunately, there's weird rules about they can't just give that money to someone else.
Right. They have to keep Harris on the ticket to keep all the Biden tickets and things
so they
like
gotta
that.
run.
See, and I was thinking this, like, since he's not going to drop out, and since they don't have time to do the amendment thing, and since they can't give the money to someone else, what they're going to do is be like, well, everybody, we're going to focus on policy, not the man himself, but what he stands for. And remember, everybody, a vote for Biden is actually a vote for Kamala Harris, because as soon as he gets into his second term, like, he's already too old. At any point, they can switch him. Like what we said they were going to do for the first 4 years, like, he somehow made it through. Like fucking Weekend at Bernie's that won't end, you know?
No, if you talk to him between 8 and 4, he's okay.
I forgot.
I think you're right. I think it plays out a
She'll
couple
be our
different
first
ways.
female president.
I think one way it plays out is that he stays in. I think the other way it plays out is he ends up getting sick and drops out. I think that he will get sick and drop out.
He already sick. He got Sundowner.
Right. I'm just saying, like, he'll reveal that he's sick. He'll
See-
reveal he's sick. He'll admit it to it. It's going to take a month
It
because
was revealed
Mary's-
4 years ago.
yeah, I get it, but I'm just saying he's there. It will not. I'm surprised he's lasted this long, but someone is going to get to him, and
It's actually
and
cruel.
convince him.
I mean, I
It
don't
is.
like the guy, but it's fucking cruel what they're doing to him.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
it's other
Jill.
things.
It's what Jill's doing to him because Barry showed up last weekend to tell him it's time to step down, and Jill stepped in and told Barack Obama no. I'm
Just
not
like what
gonna-
they
I'm
was,
not- yeah,
just
So-
like they was doing to Stan Lee,
yeah.
trying to him
So-
around. He's 1,000 years old.
Yep.
Going to all these conventions.
Yeah. So what's going to happen is that I think it's either what you said is going to play out. He'll just go all the way through, or the second thing is he'll drop out in about a month, and they'll be scrambling to get somebody in. The question is who steps in at that point, and I think the most sense to me is they'll drop Kamala Harris. They know she's got no chance to do anything, so they'll drop her completely and get two new candidates.
I don't know about that. Like, yes, like if the election was held right now, Kamala Harris is pwned, right? She doesn't have the support. There's a bunch of people who don't like her, yada yada yada.
But who's the VP? That would be
Okay,
what
that's a
changed-
separate question. The question is, what would make people like Kamala Harris? And the answer is, well, they got fucking
Not
You
a
know,
damn thing.
3 months to figure it out, 4 months to figure it out, and they've got every trick in the book.
I don't
and
think she polls well. I think they've already
Nobody
ran this.
likes Kamala. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
They know this. That's why they don't put her in the spotlight or anything.
Yep.
Well, what are the
Nobody
betting odds
likes
right now?
her.
There's
You guys
betting
are thinking
odds.
about this fourth dimensionally.
The
They get rid
best
of
thing
Biden,
that would happen.
They have Kamala go in, and then they bring in Hillary Clinton, and Kamala steps down, and we've got Hillary Clinton versus Trump again.
Yeah, that would be bad.
That wouldn't even dare that people don't like Hillary Clinton even more now. And
I think
and
Michelle
Hillary Clinton
Obama.
won't run.
If you VP'd her and backed her with,
Yeah,
Michelle
it'll have to
Obama,
be
she would
Michelle
get it.
Obama. That's their best chance.
Or just
Hillary Clinton
Obama.
already came out and admitted that she was sick, and that's why she won't run because
Yep.
she's not in good health either. So they wouldn't run her.
I think if Obama comes in, you know he's been playing the puppet master the whole time Biden's been in.
Duh. Like I don't know. I can't believe they haven't ran Michelle yet. I can't believe it.
I could see just regular old himself Obama rolling in to save the day because the Democrats love him, dude.
Obama can't.
He
Well,
physically
you're
can't,
talking
'cause
about
he's already
Michelle
had 2
Obama.
terms.
Oh, he can't.
Yeah, it would have
Yeah,
to be
he's
his-
had
it would
2
have to be
terms. It had to be
Two.
Michelle.
Obama 2.0
I
at this
gotcha.
point.
I got you.
I don't understand what this is saying. Like Donald Trump bet whatever minus 175 minus. Does that mean you're like he's favored to win because he's got a negative number?
I believe so.
And then Kamala Harris is number 2 with plus 400, and then Biden plus 800. So it's more likely, according to the betting odds, that Kamala Harris is going to be the front runner than Joe Biden as of right now.
Called it.
That'll be good though. That'll be freaking great for America. That's an automatic win for Trump.
I mean, if they really
Automatically.
wanted to, they could just yank a state senator out of one of the states right now. That's a decent person, and have him replace Biden. Like that would be a better choice, honestly, at this point.
I mean,
Is
who
it
do
too
you
late
think?
to put him on the
There-
ballot?
Like someone who no one knows, and you just go with
Exactly, because the
like
thing is,
Jared Polis.
we
or
have
something?
Whitmer. I'm not talking about governors. I'm talking about you'd have to have like a state senator or a state rep or something at this point. It would be a fucking unknown at that point completely. Because all these governors, whether it be Whitmer, Newsom, etc., they're all fucking scumbags. We know they're sacks of shit already, is what it is. Nobody
They
likes them.
just they wouldn't do anybody that no one knows though. They'd rather just pull in Gavin Newsom or Michelle Obama.
So I figured out what Leo can do for a side hustle.
Sell dick and fuck fat bitches.
Leave me alone.
Well, I was gonna say, since he lives in fucking Chirac, where people fucking die by the sword all the time because they live by it, you need something to protect your house, right? You need an automatic way to shut and lock your door, so maybe even the police have a tough time getting in.
I want one of those. That thing is sick.
And so you
Yeah,
put
that's
this, you buy like fucking 10 of these, right? And you start like an advertising somewhere, like, hey, and then show this video, and then you show up and fucking like install these things on people's houses for like a big ass profit for each one of them. And when by the time you sell the first 10 of them, you got enough money for like 30, and then you buy like, now you got a business.
No, I want that shit off of the purge. I want that security.
That's
system.
pretty much what that bad boy is,
Yeah,
bro.
that's what those are. They're basically shows from the purge.
That would be sweet. I would totally get some of that.
I mean,
What's
you got to
the
worry about
muffins
your
on that?
windows too, but then you get the window cover fucking upgrades. You get like the custom fucking sized ones and shit,
Right?
bro.
That'd be sick.
Oh, All Thumbs is explaining this. It means if you bet $175 on Trump and he wins, you win $100.
Gotcha. You lose money? That's not good.
So do you get your money back plus 100 then?
Yeah, you get your money back
Okay.
with the 100.
Oh,
Otherwise, like, why would you bet on that? That's
Yeah, that's what I was coming up
Yeah,
with.
he's the favorable candidate, is what it is.
You can go to jail for watching the content on Hunter Biden's laptop, but Hunter Biden is not in jail.
Interesting.
Sure.
That's so fucked.
Yeah, it's really.
Wait,
fucked
are you
up.
saying that there's CP on his laptop?
Yes, there's
Yeah, there
child
was,
pornography
yeah.
on his laptop, as well
Yeah.
as like
Some of
videos
that
of
shit.
him doing fucking crack cocaine and sniffing lines off of hookers' asses and doing
But that's
all
not
kinds
what's
of crazy
illegal. It's the CP that's illegal. That's not.
shit. Well, that's what's going to put you in jail, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the things that would put him in jail, there's other things too. The number of people killed by Hitler, 1, and that was himself, if you believe the story anyway. Number of people killed by Nazi law enforcers, 13 million. Moral of the story, evil men have no power unless the evil men are willing to just follow orders.
Yeah, I talked about that yesterday with the fucking clerk at the Hyatt that I work at. I told her, I said, point to me anywhere in history where law enforcement was on the right side of history, where law enforcement was on the side of the good people, was on the good side.
You know,
That's why your
Point to it.
county sheriff matters. He's your constitutional
Yep.
law enforcement officer.
The sheriff.
with every war that we've ever had and every genocide that humanity's ever had, if it weren't for cooperation, they wouldn't have happened.
Yep.
Standing up and saying no has never ended in genocide. Standing up and saying, I will not do what you tell me, has never, ended in war. Well, I guess that shouldn't. As an individual, if everyone stood up and said no war, there wouldn't be a fucking war, right? It takes everyone getting together and being like, oh, they tell me to fucking pick up this rifle and shoot at the fucking gooks or whatever, then I'm going to do it. And that's what they fucking did, right? Sorry, Asian people. I was just...
He used
See,
the hard.
I'm trying to become
Proper
a police
term
officer
is
right now just for the
zipperhead.
benefits. That's the only reason why I'm trying to become a police officer right now. So I can skip
Shoot
all
some
the
gooks?
fucking NFA shit. No, so I can buy all the fucking full auto.
Oh.
Because law enforcement, you're allowed to have full auto weapons. You can just
Yeah,
go
they
buy
can
them. You
buy
don't
that
have to
shit.
fill out all that shit. Short barrel rifles, suppressors. You can get all that shit without
Yeah,
having
but
to
depending
pay.
on your state, once
No.
you retire,
No.
you have to give that shit back.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you're retired.
No,
Yeah,
the agency.
Yeah, the agency has them, and then you can check it out from the locker or whatever when you're on patrol.
You don't get to just walk in and order whatever.
No.
They have to transfer to the department.
Yeah, I think it's New York where once you retire, you can't even like conceal carry anymore. Period.
Now here in Illinois, you get to keep that shit. In Illinois, when you try like full auto and those suppressors and shit,
Which I think
you
is
can.
crazy.
I
Out of
promise you
all
don't.
the enemies you made in your like 40-year career, now you have to give up your guns when you retire. Okay, thanks, New York.
Yeah, how many of them you think actually do that? Like give up all of them? And they may give up 2/3. They're not giving up all of them.
After all these years, she's still just the babysitter. And remember, who's running the country right now?
The babysitter.
Seems like the babysitter's doing a lot of it. I don't know if she's doing everything. She's probably got some aides and some fucking intelligence agency people and all the other things and stuff, but
Yeah, what do we need babysitter? We don't need politicians. We have babysitters. They're way cheaper. We'll be fine.
Half of Congress wears Depends.
That's true.
smoking a fag in Britain versus smoking a fag in America. Damn it.
That's a good one.
Sorry, everybody.
I'm not sorry.
I am.
All I'm saying is 18 rounds of 22 LR at once is going to ruin your day. Okay, in Furnace, have you ever seen these things?
Yeah, I want one of those.
I want one bad. Tell me.
Yeah, me too.
Tell me it works and tell me it's worth it and tell me they don't break.
No, they're not very great. But
God
they're
damn
a
it.
fun novelty. The shotgun one's better.
Damn it.
Why are you
Yeah.
ruining all my fun?
Well,
It's a complicated way to have a shot.
Thank
Did
you.
they make a pump action shotgun bottom attachment to go on an AR-15? And do you have
Yes.
to have like a tax stamp to put that on your gun?
Yeah.
Not if you use.
I don't think you have to have
not-
a tax stamp for
Not
it.
if you use an actual other weapon, but if you short barrel a shotgun, then it's an SPS.
Yeah.
So you got to do
Because-
an AOW to put that together?
Right, like one of the little fucking what's those things with the bird grip, shockwave or shit like that.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's just extra
No.
weight in the front you don't need.
No, I looked it up. If the attachment that they have, you can attach it to a 16-inch AR. You don't have to have a tax stamp to it because it's attached to a 16-inch barrel.
I want one.
And there's basically no stock on the attachment. Yeah, I looked deep into it because I was wanting to get one. I don't know why I didn't get it yet, but yeah, you don't have to have a tax stamp for that attachment that just goes underneath your rail.
No, I just say if you're making it yourself.
What's the muffins on that?
Oh, I don't think it was that much. I think it was only maybe about 4.
No, fuck that. I'll just buy another shotgun.
4 full muffins.
I'll buy
Yeah,
2
which
of
was
them furnace
about 4.
shotguns and stack them in the old location.
I mean, that ain't bad. Like, you're paying for the convenience. Like, you got an AR-15 plus, I think it held 3 rounds, plus a fucking 3-round shotgun at the bottom of it.
Buy a shockwave.
Yeah, but it's not attached to the same gun. Like, you basically got 2 guns in one. And it's just like, you're paying for that convenience, basically like a convenience fee.
I'll pass on that.
Bernie Sanders says, what we have to do is focus on policy.
1.21 gigawatts.
After the Biden age question.
Great.
That was my best Bernie Sanders impression. Oh, dude, have you guys seen this shit? Oh, my fucking God.
Yeah, play that.
Oh, let me turn off the sound for me because I don't need to hear it. We just need to see it. All right, so dude set off a fucking bottle rocket or whatever. It's a big one. And there's some other dudes a couple blocks away. And the cool thing is they edited this together because there's 2 different camera views of what happened, right? So the bottle rocket goes off. It goes sideways. Like, what happened? Oh, it went over there. Oh, it shot straight down and blew up.
Damn.
Damn.
Bro, they just got fucking...
Perfect artillery strike.
Yeah, that was a precision strike is what that was.
And that's why you don't do celebratory gunfire.
And all the people where it blew up was like, who did that? Like, fucking, I don't know, someone like a mile away, bro. Like, you'll never find them. But someone found it on the internet and edited it together, so. Yeah. President Biden. Why did I say that? Obama Holds the world record for the most children killed by a Nobel Peace Prize winner. That's a weird sentence. That's
It's a
just a
fucked up
strange fuck. Yeah, exactly.
America. Fuck yeah.
I like this. There's a comet headed for Earth. Oh no, it's headed for Washington D.C.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no. I mean, if you're gonna take out one place, Washington D.C., I've been there. There's some old buildings, some stuff made out of marble that's pretty neat looking, I guess. Some statues and shit. But as far as the corrupt government that lives there, what's this? Daniel dropped in $5. Thank you, Daniel. How's it going, by the way? UC Texas announced second day the state is basically opening a foreign consulate in Taiwan, wondering if Abbott is making plans in case the fortify the election. They fortify. God damn, that's a fucking. Are you drunk? It's a weird sentence.
It's $5. Just read it.
UC Texas announced today the state is basically. Oh, yes, I already read it. Never mind. Yeah, they're doing that in case they fortify the election. Do you think fucking Texas is gonna fucking secede?
Possibly.
It could.
Yeah, if any state was to secede first, it would definitely be Texas.
If they allow the illegals to vote in Texas, they'll secede before the election.
Wasn't it Wisconsin? They just voted to make it so that anyone can vote.
No, it's Washington State.
Washington. Yep.
Oh, that's where you're at there.
Yeah,
I thought it was.
see,
I thought it
here's
was
the problem.
Wisconsin. No. It was a swing state. It wasn't fucking
No,
Washington.
I have the article right here. I talked about it on my chat. It was Washington.
Wait, what about Washington?
Here, I'll drop it in the chat. Washington
They
State.
voting for anybody can.
They'll no longer do
illegal.
citizen requirements for voting.
They never do what?
The citizen requirement, like proof of ID and stuff like that,
yeah.
for voting for residency. Yeah, they're doing away with that entirely.
Here, it's in the back chat, bro.
Oh, it was Wisconsin made drop boxes legal.
Yeah, that was the one.
So that was the thing. Like, oh, you're. Why would you do that? Like, why would you make a drop box where no one is verifying anything legal, unless you're planning on doing some fucking fortifying?
Yeah, Wisconsin is gonna flip blue 100%.
Right, because of that though, because they fucking just opened
because
the
of
door
that.
to it
Yeah.
and made it so that they can totally flip blue and no one can say shit about it because they've got these drop boxes with no oversight.
And it's gonna flip deep blue.
Well, I think it was last year. They it was Mamas Man Action put their candidate up for their state Supreme Court there, and they got him in because of that shit too as well.
So this was on the 4th of July. This was our president's Twitter page. Still got his Pride Month banner up. And it's true, I checked, at least on that day. It was still true. Guns should not be in the hands of the mentally unstable, says senile old man with nukes.
Yeah, that's great.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Daniel can't be that drunk. He's still driving in his Tesla.
The Tesla drives you. You could be extra drunk, and it would be
Oh.
okay.
Oh.
You don't know this?
No, I drive a truck like a man.
Right, but you have internet. You have access. I don't have a fucking Tesla, but I know how Teslas work.
No, I'm not interested in the Tesla.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
As soon as they weren't bulletproof, I knew I was not interested in one.
Oh, that's what it is. I only get so many characters for $5.
That's
It
fine.
just makes it hard to read sometimes. That's all. I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying. Without government, who would shuffles deck draws criminally charge you for helping out homeless? In Ohio, I assume that you know about this story. An Ohio pastor has been charged criminally for letting unhoused people sleep in his church to avoid freezing and cold temperatures. Like, what the fuck is wrong with our government, bro?
That ain't even the government. That's just Democrats that do that.
Yeah,
A
that's city
conservative
ordinance. She does what that
government would
is.
never do that.
I heard
Those
about someone
Democrats.
getting a ticket for handing out homeless people food.
Yeah.
They went to a corner where there was like 50 homeless people or something and brought like a bunch of McDonald's or whatever with them and was giving out cheeseburgers. And the cops came up and they were like, Do you have a license to give out food to homeless people?
That was in California or New York. I remember. It was
That's
No,
one
I
of
happened
those.
a
think
few
there's been a
times in
couple of
different
stores.
states.
Yeah,
There was an
Yeah.
old woman in Florida some years ago that did that.
yeah, there's been a few stores.
Did they have a food handler's card?
You got to show me your papers.
I mean, I guess I could see, like, if you like made like a big vat of soup, and you gave a whole bunch of homeless people soup, and then like 10 homeless people ended up in the hospital with food poisoning because of the soup that you made with your unsanitary like fucking ball sack
Right.
hands or whatever it was. You know, I assume that's what it was. Sweaty ball sack hands, cutting vegetables and raw chicken.
There was
Yum.
actually years ago that Walmart stopped giving food to the homeless shelters because a bunch of homeless people sued them.
Yeah, that's true. Check that out. Why is it freezing? It's fucking July.
Where is it freezing?
Yeah, Ohio. It's freezing in fucking Ohio in the middle of July.
I'm
That's
quite
because
sure
that's
a
old.
couple months
It's
ago.
Yeah, this is a story from like a year or two ago.
Okay, I was gonna
in the
say.
wintertime. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were saying right now it's freezing
There
in
was way
Ohio.
more to it.
Yeah,
than
that's
that.
what I
like-
thought that was
Like,
saying.
bro, fucking, god damn it, like, Infernus is sweating his balls off, making fucking stew chicken with his ball sweat hands for homeless people.
That's
You just gotta
extra
watch.
flavor.
You got to watch the stuff that appeals to get you ginned up.
Right.
Oh, I love this next one. This is my favorite one so far. I'm starting to think they were just trying to help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The beam it's blue. They knew the beams were blue. Have you seen China, dude? They are wrapping all of their roofs right now in blue.
Yep.
Kind of makes me want to wrap my roof in blue.
They're now trying to turn Edmonton, Canada into 15-minute cities.
Fuck that.
What does that even mean? You just can't leave?
Yeah, you can't leave. Your work and everything's there. You're not allowed a vehicle. You have to basically.
Yeah, it's everything is in a 15-minute walk, basically.
Yeah, you're basically a hamster on a wheel. You can't leave it.
It would be very similar to that Justin Timberlake movie years ago where they had all the sectors you had to go through a time.
In time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Such a good movie.
But it's obviously monetary value, and they make sure you can't get enough to leave.
Well, that sounds gay.
It's a prison without walls, but
Yeah.
there's probably walls.
You know, to all the environmentalists out there who are like, you need to buy an electric vehicle. Instead of that, you should buy a used motorcycle because it uses less gas and less electricity, less fucking resources than a car would, and also you don't have to produce anything new because it's used. That's the ultimate. If you were an environmentalist, you'd be riding a used motorcycle. That's what I say.
I'd say you'd be
They're
riding a
not
bike.
practical for a lot of different work, unfortunately.
Well, you
You
know
know what I
what?
mean?
If you want to be an environmentalist, sometimes you got to do impractical shit in Furnace.
Yeah,
Like
I'm not.
ride a motorcycle in the snow.
I want a 3/4 ton. I'm hauling trailers, baby. Let's do this shit.
Sometimes you got to haul a fucking trailer with a gold wing.
You just gotta get 10 friends to help you.
Yep.
That'd be cool. You'd look like a bunch of mush dogs down in fucking Alaska, dude. That'd be cool if it was all bikes. Do that.
Okay, tell me what you guys think about this. This is my own words. We should all show our strong support for President Biden. No, I'm serious. Hear me out. He will not win the election, period. We need to make him think if he stays in the race, he has a chance. Kamala will finish the job Joe Biden started if she gets in. Trump 2024, baby.
I think you cheated.
Like, run, Joe, run.
I don't know. Like, again, who's the best option? I don't know. Will Trump get in office and do some fucking Nazi shit? That's what everyone on the left thinks.
That's what some people on the right think too.
Has Biden already came in and done some Nazi shit?
Especially with
Has
the-
everybody
One
already
on the
done it?
Supreme Court.
The never Trumpers.
I don't know, man.
No,
I've seen what
it's not never Trumpers. It's just people paying attention.
Biden's been doing though, and it's like more Nazi shit's coming from the left than the right these days.
I can't stand the Democrats either, but it blows my mind how people who are pro-Constitution support Trump right now.
We've disappointed Infernus.
Damn it, Infernus.
I'm sorry, Infernus.
Well, what is Trump doing to infringe on the
Have
Constitution?
you not been paying to any of the shit coming out of the Supreme Court the last few days? He clearly wants to try to create a dictatorship.
Like how? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm asking.
I mean, I like dick and
Because
I
I've been
like
busy.
tater.
Because I've been busy working. So enlighten me.
Oh, okay. I mean, basically, he would just, the shit that he tried to pull during September or January 6th, where he tried to get the vice president to throw out legitimate votes. That was business, so he can't get in trouble for that type of shit. The whole 2025, it's a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah.
So I was looking into the Project 2025 thing, and Trump,
Don't get me started on that.
Trump
shit.
specifically on whatever the fuck his version of Twitter is, because he's not on Twitter.
True Social.
Yeah.
He tweeted out on Truth Social, because I'm going to say tweeted and I don't care, that Project 2025, he doesn't know what it is and he doesn't support it. And it's like, how? That's a contradictory statement. How could you not know what something is, but you also don't support? How could you not support something if you don't even know what it is? It's like, well, maybe someone told him about it, and he was like, "Oh, I don't support that shit." But I don't even know what it is because someone just told me about it, and I don't have anything to do with it. He was basically saying he doesn't have anything to do with that. So
Yeah, I don't believe him.
If you think there ain't some shady fucking snake shit going on everywhere, you're delusional at this point.
Oh no, my whole thing on the with the Project 25 shit is like associate Project 25 with the Project 25 and associate Trump with Trump. Project 25 is not Donald Trump didn't write. I see like you associate it because Donald Trump wrote it, and that's what he wants done and wants to do for the country and shit. But we had 4 years of Trump that shows the exact opposite of Project 25, pretty much.
Yeah,
so like Project 25 is a whole separate group.
Yeah, Project 25 was Heritage Foundation. Trump's whole thing is Agenda 47, which is a totally different thing entirely.
Yeah, so I don't know why people combine Trump with Project 25 like Trump wrote that.
Yeah,
no, that's a whole separate
I never
entity.
said he wrote it.
It comes from the Heritage Foundation, right?
Yeah,
it's just a fucking. That's a Republican
anything
think tank.
political. Yeah,
it's a huge think tank.
So it's like, okay, a think tank came out with an article, and what the left has done in this case is, and I might be wrong, I don't know, I don't really know, but it seems like they've taken this think tank's document with some extremist shit that they put in there,
and they associated with Trump
and ascribed it to Trump in a way
I
that
didn't
they're
hear
like,
it from the left. I heard it from people that are.
They're not from the
true
right. They're not
conservative.
even
They're
fucking
not
political
leftists at
people.
all.
Everybody
again?
I've seen has pink and fucking yellow hair fucking talking about it. So
The left wasn't talking about it until certain, somewhat conservatives started talking about it first.
It was what's his face from the Heritage Foundation. He said it in an interview about a week ago, give or take, and everybody latched onto it. It came directly from the Heritage Foundation. It doesn't have anything to do with Trump. It never did.
No, I heard about this months ago.
no.
Well, yeah, because the reason people are talking about it now is because he did it in an interview with, like, I don't know, CNN or something like that. So everybody's talking about it for the last week, but it's been a heritage thing for. I mean, it's their thing. Project 2025 is their thing. It has nothing to do with Trump.
Yeah, and that's that pisses me off that people associate that with Trump.
And the biggest knock I will personally give Agenda 47, because I talked about it on my channel, is Trump wants to basically militarize the cops even worse than they already are and give them more qualified immunity. And it's like, fuck that shit.
yeah. I mean, the one thing from Project 2025 that Trump is on board with that I know about anyway, and maybe there's more than one, is the mass deportation thing, right?
Mhm.
And I don't particularly agree with it. Like, there's a lot of people who are here who need to be gone, right? And I think the way you do it is you just, okay, you were a drunk driver, let's see your license. Oh, you're not a citizen? Back to Mexico. Like,
Even
fuck you.
the people who Trump employ at his shitty businesses tend to be illegals. So he thinks that's what his base wants. So he's going to just tell you whatever he thinks you want, and then he'll do 5 executive orders that are anti-2A. So, like he did. So.
Dude, it doesn't matter. They have you guys so split. It's Agenda 2030 anyway, the depopulation. They don't give a fuck about it. You're hooked on a tiny worm that's a year away because it's a reasonable date for you to look forward to. What you need to look forward to is the fucking depopulation. They're happening in fucking 6 years, dude.
Well, according to, I forget the name of the military group, there's some military prediction group that was showing like world population decline and all of these things. And it was like, in 2025, the population of the United States will be 100 million people. Like, how does that happen? Oh, we're not going to tell you. We're not telling you what our prediction, like the causation of our prediction is, but we're just going to give you the numbers of the results of our predictions. And there's like several countries, like Russia had a big hit, fucking like the UK had a big hit, like all of these, like Germany had a big hit, and the United States had like 200 million people like fucking gone, dude.
Because World War III is ramping up, and the fucking over half the world is against
And if that shit happens, like all of the shit that we're talking about
doesn't fucking matter.
Doesn't matter much. I don't know if it doesn't fucking matter, but it certainly matters a lot less than, you know.
X Adam 1, you need to double it, baby. That's funny.
6 kids. How many do you have, Mandrake?
5.
Oh man, those are rookie numbers.
You gotta catch up.
But yeah, I feel like that's kind of the Democrats' plan, because they know they can't win this election, and I know they know they can't lose this election. So I think that's why they're just like, fuck it, World War III, and then there won't be an election. Biden gets to stay in, or we can just shuffle in whoever we want in.
The thing that pisses me off is the gaslighting that goes on. It's like, I'm Joe Biden, and I've created more jobs than any other president in history, and here's the numbers. And it's like, okay, I guess if you discount fucking the effects of COVID and everyone not working during COVID, and then for some reason, as soon as Joe Biden got into office, all of these companies just randomly decided to start hiring people back and employing people again, and states started opening up again as soon as Biden got into office. That was weird. That's when I got my job back.
But that's always, I mean, that's been bullshit on both sides. The government don't fucking create jobs.
No,
they
made
create jobs.
Right. They made government jobs. They didn't make actual business jobs. There's still millions of companies bankrupt. All these mom and pop businesses going under. The real businesses are gone. And you can't just inflate the numbers with government fucking positions that don't do shit.
Every new government that comes in lies about that.
But here's
shit.
the deal. Vandrake, you're doing the same exact thing. You and Infernus are on both sides of the same coin. You're hating the other side so much you're not actually looking at the real problem, and that's the problem with this fucking country. Yeah.
I mean, to give Trump credit, Trump did create a lot of jobs. He literally, what he was doing was trying to bring all of our jobs that are fucking overseas
and economists say you're wrong,
and bring it over
like,
here.
Every president who comes in on a new president says no, that was from policies from the previous president.
But that was Trump's
I think it
policies.
Depends, because there's certain things that Trump did that actually did help the economy. Like
it's a lot.
Opening up the fracking and producing oil here in the United States made gas really cheap here, which makes everything cheaper because now
it wasn't in my state.
And that created jobs.
You cannot tell me you're not spending more money now than you were 4 years ago.
And then they were also able to, for the first time in a really long time, actually export oil rather than
and economists say that a lot of that has to do with COVID, and that was not
that was before COVID.
Yeah.
All of that was
COVID out. What did Biden do when he got in office, though? The first thing he did was shut down the fucking pipelines.
Undid everything.
Which makes oil more expensive, which helps out countries that produce oil like Russia and makes them more powerful.
Gas is cheaper right now than it has been in the last 8 years in my state. Bullshit.
It's fucking $3 more a gallon here, bro.
That's over $1.60 more here than it was under Trump, man.
Under Trump, we got up to
$1
a gallon. Right now, we're at $3.60. So,
dude, you're cheaper than I am. Just fucking saying.
Yeah, gas here in Illinois was like $1.87.
Yeah, I was like $1.60.
It's like almost $4. Yeah.
Yeah, that might be a lot. Of that probably has more to do with our local government than it does our president.
Boy,
No, it's
sounds
not
like
certainly,
they're
like
hooking you up.
like a lot of the taxes that you pay for gas
You
are
guys don't
local.
produce shit anyway.
There's
except
also
for
federal
politicians.
taxes on gas, right? Because they are the ones who, point barrels of guns at everyone around the world and fucking have the petrodollar and shit. So they got to have their tax on the gas that you buy too. So part of it is local. Part of it's like access to where the gas is produced. So like if you live in Texas where there's the refineries and where they fucking drill for it, it's a little bit cheaper because it's in your backyard. Versus if you live in like North Dakota or something, or I don't know necessarily, but somewhere further away from the tap where they got to transport it to you, then it's going to cost more, But as far as Trump versus Biden, there was the cheapest gas that I had was under Trump, personally.
Same.
Yeah, the cheapest gas period ever, and at least for me growing up when I started driving.
No,
But
under
this is-
Clinton,
this-
it was
this is a
90
good
cents a
thing.
gallon. With
Well,
Bush,
that's-
it got up to 5.50.
Yeah. Certainly during the 90s, I remember when it was, if you paid $1 for a gallon of gas, it was like, what is this? Highway robbery?
I want to say something to Eduardo Espinosa's comment. Did the petrodollar actually expire? The contract expired, and nobody's re-upped it, including Saudi Arabia.
No.
Yeah,
You're
because
wrong.
now bricks now.
You're wrong. It's not a contract with. So there's OPEC countries. There's multiple countries OPEC is in control of. We had a deal with Saudi Arabia specifically.
For
That
50 years.
we had a deal with Saudi Arabia specifically. If you will not interrupt me while in the middle of a sentence, sir. Thank you.
No.
That deal expired, but there's still other countries that are still on the petrodollar. So the fear is that we let the most major country, Saudi Arabia, that we deal with in oil in the OPEC countries, we let that deal go to bed and not re-up. And so now the fear is that other countries will follow suit, and the next thing you know, they're all going to be trading in yuan or rubles or some other,
Bricks.
gold-backed fucking something or other. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Here's
everybody's
a-
gonna be switching over to bricks.
Here's an unconfirmed thing. China's actually not dealing in the U.S. dollar right now. We're trading them oil to get goods from them currently. That's why there's such a big gap in the supply chain with things coming in.
And I did hear this too, that the reason why gas prices are good right now is because Biden basically drained our fucking strategic petroleum reserve.
Twice.
He's done that twice.
Yep.
So that's a
Here's the thing. Here's what I know. I give a rat's ass about fucking Trump. Trump could drop dead tomorrow. I wouldn't give a shit. Okay. Biden could drop dead tomorrow. I wouldn't give a shit.
I would cheer.
Okay. I don't give a fuck about any of these people. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. Okay. I have no loyalty to any party or any fucking politician. What I do know is that outside of COVID, for 4 years under Trump, my life and my family's life was better.
Amen.
And it was directly a result of him being president. I know this because I had fucking meetings at work about it.
Yeah, same.
Okay? And I lost my job a few months after Biden became president and was told it was because of the changes.
Yeah.
Okay? So I don't give a fuck what Trump does or doesn't do. I don't give a rat's ass. He can go around and circle jerk everybody in the fucking White House. He can steal documents. He can be a felon 20 times fucking over. I don't give a shit. Because first of all, I don't believe that he's any more of a fucking felon than any other goddamn politician. Because the only difference is nobody's ever gone after them. But I guarantee you, with all the shit we've heard my entire life, there are people out there that have fucking goddamn done shit way worse than he has.
What about these?
I have no
allegations
loyalty
with
to
the-
him,
about
but
the
I'll sure as shit
13-year-old?
fucking vote for him because my life was better when he was president.
What about these allegations with the child?
What about the allegation with Joe Biden and his own fucking child?
I don't care. Like,
Exactly.
That's even younger than
too
13, dude. That's
evil,
disgusting.
Too evil don't make a fucking good. Like, I'm just curious what Matt thinks
They're
about
just
that.
they just keep trying to go after him.
I have not heard anything about what you're talking about.
It's with the fucking douchebag island.
I
Some
haven't heard
13-year-old
anything about
that he
that.
supposedly raped.
I mean,
Daddy Biden
honestly,
had a
I
gold
think
ticket
that
there.
maybe it's true. But don't you think that, like, with how hard they've gone after him, that if they had that kind of shit, they would have already fucking trotted it?
Well, let me, and I don't know what the answer is. I'm just asking this kind of. I'm not just like asking it with already a fucking answer in my head. I don't fucking know. But is there any doubt in anybody's mind here that Joe Biden is a fucking pedophile?
No.
Well, I've seen I've seen the diary they confirmed came from his daughter. He's a fucking he fucking was a pedophile. He still is. He still fucking acts like it publicly.
Yeah,
So the question is,
put down.
if we're asked to do, okay, so the answer or the choice is vote for one of the two pedophiles. One I know is, the other I haven't heard about, but maybe is, or vote for nobody at all. Like, what's the answer?
Do you vote for the douche or do you vote for the turd?
I'm asking genuinely. I don't have an answer to this. Like,
Well, and the thing
let's
is,
assume both are fucking pedophiles.
even the third party guy, Kennedy, he's been accused of fucking. I don't know about.
I would never vote for a fucking Kennedy ever. That family is so fucked up and has done so many wrong things, and it's like voting for a fucking Clinton. So that's not even on the fucking table. And the other option is fucking queerbait dude in the Libertarian Party, who's not going to win anyway. So the question is, do you just vote for nobody, or do you vote for one of the two people that's going to win?
You vote for whoever made your life better.
Trump made my life better. And I don't even like Trump. I've said this. I've been saying this since 2015. I don't even like the dude. But when he was president, my life was better. My family's life was better.
Yep.
That's all I know. I mean, we can sit here and have discussions about every little fucking thing under the sun, and that's fine. And I'll have opinions on all of it. But what it boils down to is what affected my life in a more positive way.
I will say this: if there comes a day where there's some kind of actual evidence, be it video or whatever, that Trump actually diddled a fucking 13-year-old. It's not just an allegation. It's like, here's some proof. Here's some irrefutable proof too. It's not just like, some bullshit hearsay stuff or whatever, Then I will evaluate that, and I will take it into consideration, and I would probably say that fuck Trump at that point. You know what I mean?
Supposedly, this actually somehow the case got dropped years ago, but supposedly he's also one of the people on Epstein's flight logs and whatnot. The problem,
the reason why the case got dropped is because they said that they didn't do anything.
Supposedly it's a power thing, but there's so many fucking powerful people involved in this. Of course, nobody wants to talk about it because they're all fucking guilty.
Yeah. Well, I guess if he has a laptop in lockup, we'll look at that one too. Okay.
You know what? If they release that information and Trump's on the list, but they also take down like 50 other pedophiles in power, but Trump's got to go, I'm okay with that.
No, see, the reason why Trump's case got dropped is because the girl said that Trump didn't do anything, that Trump never touched them. Same with Prince Andrew.
Well, now she's
they
saying
said
differently.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and what do you think exactly? Why do you think all of a sudden?
I wasn't there. I don't know.
Like no.
I've never had a powerful person touch me, so I don't know what happens behind closed doors.
I still love you, in fairness. This is
you
a good
want a powerful person to touch you?
Yeah.
I can make a few calls.
Yeah. I want to get paid.
I like money.
Since we're on this topic, supposedly there's an investigation going on right now with Matthew Perry's death because of him exposing pedophiles potentially. That's why they killed him.
I did want to get your guys' opinion on what Welper's asking about here. Do you all think Chevron deference decision will have an effect on executive actions, and will it rein in presidential powers?
Let's hope so.
Or also,
no. Okay, so sorry,
hold on, let me finish.
Sorry, you weren't done. You weren't done. Go ahead.
So the other part of it is, like, do you guys think that it will help out the average little guy when it comes to, I don't know, government overreach and like the way that it used to work is like the ATF has decided that this is the way that this law should be interpreted, and since the ATF said it and said that you're guilty, we're going to move forward with charges because that's their, interpretation of the law, not the fucking judges, not the actual law as it's written. It's their interpretation. So they don't have the ability to use their just random interpretation of the law. So now you can get a Toyota Helix from fucking Japan if you want, or like potentially.
Well, here's the thing. First of all, in that court decision, they did not negate anything that's already been set and established case law. So if something's already been done, if people were already charged with things, anything that was already some ABC organizations bullshit that's been something that's been set on the books and court cases have been decided based on it, things like that. That does not change. It only changes anything else from happening from this point forward. So,
but they can appeal though. They can appeal now.
They can appeal, and there's a better chance that there are things that can be done, but it doesn't change anything that's already happened. A, B, will it rein in presidential power? The answer is a little bit, because sometimes executive orders, what they do is they use these regulatory agencies to accomplish their executive orders. Yeah. Does it change that a president can write an executive order and declare whatever they want? No, it doesn't change that at all. It does change how they're allowed to enforce certain things, because they won't be able to use regulatory agencies to reinterpret laws to do the things they want to do. They'll have to find other ways to fulfill those executive orders. So it will have a little bit of an effect on presidential power, but not a lot.
Would this also stop future frame receiver stuff though too, or not?
Stop what?
The frame receiver rule bullshit like we did before. Would it stop that or not?
It should.
Well, it would give you the opportunity, if you were charged with the crime under that interpretation of the law, to fight that interpretation of the law in court.
So here's the thing: is
considered automatically guilty because that's what the ATF said.
Well, to my knowledge, nobody's actually gone to prison for that. There's no case law on that.
Yeah,
yet.
There's no case law yet. Yeah.
So it would definitely be affected, because the first time it went to court, they would be able to use the Supreme Court's decision to say they can't make fucking laws if they can't reinterpret laws, and those people would win in court against the ATF. So that one, and same thing with the bump stock ban and the pistol brace and those other ones that haven't actually had anybody go to court yet for any of those things. Those would all be just gone. They would go to court maybe if the ATF wanted to pursue it. That would be used as a defense, and then those cases would be overturned. They haven't established case law yet on those things.
And that case law is that's a retarded doctrine, I think, honestly.
Oh, it's stupid as shit.
They shouldn't be able to just be like, well, unless every single aspect of one case is exactly the same as another case, you shouldn't be able to apply case law. And if you really look into the nitty-gritty details, no two cases are the same, so it should never fucking apply.
Yep, I agree.
What are you going to do? It's the biggest ripoff ever. Oh, speaking of Chevron deference and helixes, it's like I knew that was next. Yeah, dude, what kind of import vehicle from Japan would you guys get? This is the one that I would get. The indestructible Toyota Helix.
R32 or 34.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't know enough to answer that question.
I also don't know enough.
The Supra.
There's all kinds of cars in Japan that you can't have here, though.
Yeah.
And they have to be, I think it's 25 years old before you can import them because of some fucking interpretation of a law that was written about import stuff or something like fucking really long time ago. I don't even know when it was written, but had nothing to do with what they interpreted
Japanese
it for.
car I used to want was a 3000 GT VR4.
Ooh, yeah. My buddy had one of those. My buddy had one of those and he wrecked it like a fucking dumbass. Oh well.
Chickens.
On another note, to get off politics, which it was a good thing. You have a larger audience / swath of a net than I do. You need to be ready for some stuff coming, guys. There's been planes coming up and down, sniffing around for some certain things. Stuff has come up through the border they can't find. So you need to be ready for that.
What do you mean stuff has come up from the border?
Like bang, bang, boom, boom, bad stuff.
Spell it out.
Like that Imagine Dragons song?
Oh yeah, they've been apparently, from what
full
I've
of
heard,
shit, probably.
they've been smuggling hella fucking guns in and arming like
Not
hella arming
guns.
illegal immigrants
Dude,
and
look
shit.
at all the stuff that's been missing nuclear wise around every plate. Waste, isotopes, everything. All the countries are missing a ton of shit, dude.
Somebody's trying to give us a dirty Oppenheimer.
There you go. Thank
There
you
you
very
go.
much. So be ready for that. So the biggest thing to do is fuck the politics, stack your food, stack your water, stack your ammo, stack your wool blankets, because that's shit that's going to keep you alive, not fucking worrying about what kind of fucking paper you're filling in dots on. Focus on your goddamn family before all this stupid shit. Don't be superficial on it.
Calhoun Republic dropped in $2 and said, "LOL, read my last chat." I don't know why you have to laugh out loud first, but ha ha ha. Tune in next time to see if Infernus' prediction of come now.
No, dude, don't knock Infernus, dude. This is the best. This guy probably rides the middle line better than everybody,
Yeah, you
and he's
can.
holding his own. So don't be a
now.
dick to Infernus.
Infernus
I
are
don't
my
care what
favorite.
they think because
I like your
into
input,
this shit.
Infernus.
So.
I like your input.
Infernus is my favorite. Fuck all of you.
Yeah.
Don't be a dick. Just get him, dick.
He was my favorite first, you fucktard.
No, he gets to be my favorite now.
No, Matt, you make a good point. I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, I wasn't trying to like get. It's not a gotcha question. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's just one of those things. I'm looking at the most available information I have, which is how did these administrations affect my life? How have they affected my life? You know, and I'm making a decision on that basis. I mean, hell, and first, you know, I don't like Trump. I've never been a Trump fan.
No, dude, you're a fucking straight guy. I mean, you're a good
halfway straight. Almost straight.
See, like the thing is, it's simple. Just separate the person from the politics. Separate the person from the.
And like I said, I don't know. And I went
Separate the two.
into 2016, 2017, right? Like, I had all kinds of doubts that I voiced publicly and got so much shit for, you know, online. And, you know, and then as things moved through his term, I was like, he's actually doing the stuff he promised. He's actually improving the lives of my family, and everyone I know is doing better under him than we've done under 8 years of Obama. And I would, you know,
president.
I was actually impressed. That doesn't mean it was all him. It may have been the people he surrounded himself with and the people he listened to, and the fact that him being president allowed for, you know, whatever entities to come in and write laws and, you know, make policies and do things that I found were beneficial to me outside of the gun control stuff. You know, whatever it is. I don't know what the reasons were. All I know is, you know, he was president. My life got better.
Yep. And that's why I tell people.
My only pushback would be, and if this data is correct, I've seen data from people who claim to be experts on this shit who don't seem to be left-leaning. Like, yeah, a lot of those policies that were helping us were actually from the previous. Finally, after the bullshit that Bush put us into, a lot of Trump's policies that were working in the beginning actually were shit left over from the Obama era. I don't know. I mean,
I do remember.
Supposedly, that's what a lot of the data shows.
When Trump was running for office, and he's like, "I'm gonna make, you know, 100,000 these kind of jobs and 100,000 those kind of jobs," and specifically, Obama stood up and said something to the effect of, "I don't know where you're going to get a magic wand to wave around to make that happen, but in reality, it's not going to happen," or something to that effect. I don't remember the exact quote. And then he ate those fucking words because, like, 2 years later, all of the numbers that Trump had put forward, as far as the job growth numbers and the metrics that he had set forward,
The lowest amount of unemployment.
blown out of the water. And it's like, where are you, Obama?
Like I said, supposedly there's people who can show you where a lot of that stuff was actually from stuff that Obama got through before he left office. I don't know.
The things I'm referring to specifically, for me, the things that I noticed made an effect in my life that I had gone to meetings and been talked about at work and things like that were tax cuts, energy reduction in the country, and border security. Those were the three things. Three things that we all know for a fact had nothing to do with Obama. Obama was against tax cuts. He was against opening up the energy sector. and he was against securing the border, at
Well,
least to the extent that Trump did.
One of the
Right.
things that the tax cuts did, though, that's bad, is inflation. Like, when you spend a whole fuck ton of money while at the same time cutting taxes on everybody so that they pay less taxes, you end up with a much larger deficit, and effectively that fucking makes inflation accelerate.
Honda. Only you're wrong on that. The reason why the inflation was really low under Trump is because he made tax cuts, and you know what keeps inflation low is circulation of money. Everybody had money to spend, and there was a whole lot. It was a growth of circulation of money, and that's why inflation was stagnant under Trump, and it didn't grow. And that's why interest rates under Trump was low, because we had more money circulating. People had money to spend. Inflation is when people don't have money to spend, so money's just sitting. There's no new money circulating. There's no new or old money circulating. Everybody just sitting on their money and spending all the money on bills.
Well, he did also have the tariffs, so that offset a little bit of that. But.
Yeah,
and actually, like that's one thing that everyone freaked out about at the time. Like, oh, Trump's putting tariffs, and that's gonna. And I'm like, bro, like honestly, I think that's a great way to get tax revenue for the country, because you're making these countries who produce fucking goods with slave labor that we cannot compete with at a more like compatible price, so that makes like local competition companies be able to produce things and sell them, and now you're giving money to someone locally and jobs locally rather than like a dock worker, you know?
Well,
except for when we're not producing.
the flip side of that is that's not the reality of that is that's not what happens. What happens is
if you do it for long enough, that is what happens.
I mean,
If you do it for
eventually,
long enough-
yes, but
yeah.
you're talking about a couple of decades. But I mean, in the short term, i.e., the term of a president, what you see is prices just go up. Prices go up for the stuff we have to pay because that those tariffs get rolled into the price of the goods. Because
like Harley Davidson was like, "Yo, we're gonna move our plant down to Mexico, and we're gonna make a bunch of shit down in Mexico now." And Trump's like, "Okay, that's great. You can do that, but we're gonna increase every tariff from motorcycles imported from Mexico by 300%. See how many you sell then." And they were like, "Oh fuck, I guess we'll keep our shit here." Like there were things that he did that kept jobs here, dude. And part of that was tariffs. So
I will actually say one thing. As someone who was not a gunner until Trump's administration, there's a reason for that. It was because dipshit Obama and Biden fucking fearmongering people for 8 goddamn years, putting our gun prices up like 2-3 times what they should have been. And then it was finally there was enough manufacturing done to where during Trump's administration shit was able to be slashed in half. And I was able to finally buy guns.
Yeah.
the Second Amendment, from the day it was passed, limited the type of weapons you could own. You couldn't buy a cannon. I'm Joe Biden, and I tell lies. The fuck you couldn't.
I want a cannon.
Dude, fucking, they owned boats with cannons back then that were like, I don't know what the word is, like conscripted by the U.S. government to fight piracy.
Pirates.
On their castles, they had them.
Yeah, it was privateers.
Yep.
Oh man, we can't watch that. But here's the quote. Donald Trump attempted to overthrow an election, wants to be a dictator on day one, which he did say that, but it was kind of in jest. If you actually
He was saying for one day. He was just saying dictator for one day.
And he was kind of joking around when he said it. You could tell like ha ha ha. And he was promised revenge and retribution if he wins, which again, there are some people who have done some illegal shit that under the current regime will never be charged for the illegal shit that they did, because they basically, and I don't think this is a fucking hyperbole. I don't think this is, anything other than what I'm about to say. There was a coup in 2020 in our country. They took out the president of the United States, not by killing him. And I don't know who's fucking echoing right now, but you should mute yourself. Whoever it was. Hey, you stopped.
Hooray.
There was a coup in fucking the United States, and I don't care if you disagree with me. This is my opinion. This is what I saw happen. The media banded together. The intelligence agencies banded together. The deep state non-elected officials banded together. Now we've seen the judicial branch band together. We've seen House and Senate band together. We've seen every level of government official band together, as well as people who are in the public sector who are basically employed by the government, i.e. CNN, ABC, NBC, Fox News. Fuck you if you watch Fox and you think that shit's true. It's just controlled opposition.
True.
And it was all stacked up, all unified, all organized, all put together for a coup so they could take out the president of the United States who they could not control, who was doing things that were against their agenda because they wanted to bring in a new world order where they have complete control over everybody, bankrupt America, make us a fucking international state just like everybody else with no power, no, like 15-minute cities, Agenda 2030, all of those things. And Trump was standing in the way saying like, hey, here's some free oil. Hey, here's some fucking not war. Hey, here's some reversal of fucking bullshit that we were dealing with. And they're like, fuck, dude, he's fucking everything up. And they're going to reelect him? They're going to fucking reelect Hitler? Like, they can't fucking, like, be more hyperbolic about the terminology that they use when speaking about these people, about this person, the president of the United States. I almost Joe Biden there for a second. But it's true, dude. And, like, that's how I see it. And you would have to fucking show me some serious evidence that, like, all of these people were just, like, happened to fucking be on the same page and happened to be pointing in the same direction and happened to be doing the same thing at the same time. And they weren't actually colluding together and they weren't actually working together. They just happened to just fucking agree on everything. Like, I don't buy that shit. They took him out because he was standing in the way of their fucking agenda in a way that they never thought possible. When he started to run, they laughed at him. They thought he was a joke. They thought there was no chance of him winning. And then fucking, if you go back and watch the 2016 election, the coverage from like Young Turks is who I'm thinking of. They fucking threw a conniption. They were like the beginning, they're like cheering and having a good time and drinking champagne and talking about how this is going to be and that's going to be. By the end of the night, it was full meltdown, dude. It was hilarious and also telling at the same time. They did not know that it even could happen. That's why they didn't rig it.
Dude, up until about mid-September of 2016, the entire collective media apparatus, mainstream media, fucking literally gave him all the airtime he wanted. They let him say whatever he wanted, do whatever he wanted, because they thought it was a joke. They thought there was no chance in hell. Remember, it was about mid-September when that whole Russia collusion thing started popping up. Because that's when they started to see him as a little bit more of a serious threat. Up until then,
don't gloss over that, because that was paid for by Hillary Clinton as opposition research that they put forward as actual
And
evidence
Obama.
that he was a fucking piece of shit, right? That he was like working with the Russians, and there's so many people who to this day are like, he's a Russian agent, when that was completely debunked and never fucking proven on any level to be true. Like, maybe he had some mobster connections, but name a fucking builder in New York City who doesn't know a mobster. Like, that doesn't fucking, like, okay, that's neither here nor there. You know what I mean?
E. Honda didn't Boeing himself. Love that. That was a gorgeous.
Yeah, and it was also proven that the whole piss dossier thing was created by 4chan, or 8chan, whatever it was.
I'm just saying, like, on every single level, this was a coup. This was a coup set up by Hillary Clinton, by her cronies who thought that she would win, who had this agenda that they were moving forward with that was going to be, like, who knows where we would be right now if we had 8 years of Hillary Clinton, because we'd be at the tail end of that, moving into the next phase of whatever it is we've been moving into. But Trump fucking threw a whole monkey wrench into that plan. So they had to work double time with fucking COVID, is what I think. This is, again, my opinion. With COVID and with Joe Biden and this bumbling, fumbling, fucking taking us out of Afghanistan and everything else that happened in Ukraine and fucking everything that's happened has been an acceleration to catch up to where we should have been because Hillary Clinton wasn't in office. And that's why they so desperately needed to get him out of office. Again, these are my opinions.
I agree.
You know what's funny is I was watching, fuck, I can't even remember what it is anymore, but it was about 3 or 4 days ago. And, after the debate from a week and a half ago, whenever it was now at this point. And there was a whole panel, and I can't remember if it was MSNBC or CNN or whatever it was.
It was
and
CNN.
they were talking to a whole bunch of people. And they were talking about how, all the media is coming out and saying all these things about Joe Biden and about how, look at his in the debate and he should drop out and all this stuff. And it was like 5 of these absolute just moronic wonder retards that were just going on and on and on and on about how, oh yeah, even if he is older and sometimes he has trouble speaking, that it is the most significant election interference they have ever seen when the media collectively gets together and tries to push any sort of agenda against a man running for president. And how many times have I sat here and said that the most significant the proof, whether you believe in the hockey stick in the middle of the night in Michigan or the videos we saw from Georgia about, ballots being pulled out from under a table, which we all saw that, by the way, even if none of that shit was true, there is still massive, massive election interference in 2020 because of what the media did. It is the biggest case of election interference in the history of this country, the way the media came together against Donald Trump. Whether you like him, whether you don't like him, doesn't matter. There was a very obvious bias in the media, on social media, literally everywhere you went. You couldn't say nice things about Donald Trump at work, or you might, risk, I don't know, getting fired or something. It was insane. And I've said it for, since that happened, it is straight up the most significant case of election interference I've ever seen in my life. And you can say, well, okay, well, maybe it wasn't, hidden ballots or this or that or whatever else. It's still election interference. And to see this panel, these leftist fucktwats, fucking sit up there and say, because people are calling out Joe Biden's obvious degradation in his mental, stability, is the biggest case of election interference we've ever seen. Yet they said fucking nothing 4 years ago.
Dude,
in fact, they were all right there on board doing it to this other dude. And now they consider saying anything bad about somebody running for president. They consider that election interference. Well, guess what, Buttercup, you fucktwat? You all fucking did it 4 years ago. Well, and you did it way harder and for way less of a reason than actually just judging a dude by his poor performance at a debate.
Here's the article from Time Magazine from 2020. The secret history of the shadow campaign that saved the 2020 election. And if you go on and actually read this, they spell out how they use social media, they use unification with different media outlets to basically target the president, and like the perpetuation of the Steele dossier and the Russiagate thing and all of the fucking media hit piece attacks that were coordinated. Like, they worked very, very, very hard in a coordinated effort as members of the media to do a political coup on a sitting president to make sure that he wasn't reelected, at the same time as they were putting fucking cardboards over the windows so no one could see what was going on in the counting room, and pulling out I don't know, whatever, suitcases full of fucking ballots from underneath tables and start counting them after they sent everyone home. And there was the hockey stick thing, which is statistically impossible. Like, everything adds up, dude. And if you don't see it, I guess there's nothing I can do for you, because it's blatant as day. It's obvious in front of your face. It's like written in plain English in Time Magazine, because they did it and they were so proud of it that they couldn't help but brag about it. So this is the article about them bragging about it. And I'll put this in the chat if anyone wants to read it. Like, I'm not going to read it on air.
Yeah, there was a lot of that shit also going on in Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Minnesota, too.
But yeah, there's that link for you guys if you want to look into it. But yeah, that was a. Where did that come from? Holy shit! Sorry, guys. Have you guys been seeing a lot of Kamala Harris tweets lately?
No,
not really.
Because I have. It's just been showing up in my feed, and I'm not subscribed to her or anything. So they've been pushing that shit forward.
The only thing I saw recently was her husband getting COVID after being super, super vaxxed.
We can't coast. If it ends up that they don't replace Biden, we've still got to all show up in person day of and vote.
Yep.
Do you think that any of this is attached to the COVID jab? Like people who got it don't want to hear anything about the potential side effects and all of the negative stuff about Pfizer or whoever. And so they kind of like meld it all together into this conglomerate of things that they don't want to talk about and they don't want to hear about and that they're against. And they're like, fuck that. And fuck everybody on the right who didn't take the vaccine and who follows this orange man and does all these things. And it's Trump derangement syndrome, but it's mixed with like some sort of trauma that happened in 2020. Like they lost a parent. They lost somebody that they cared about or whatever. And you know, like my sympathy and my heart goes out to people. But how much of that was because of the reaction to COVID rather than the disease itself, you know? And like there are people who died legitimately, like no doubt. People, but there are a lot of people who got put on ventilators who didn't need to be. And
well, in the beginning, they didn't know how to treat it.
Right. But they also incentivized hospitals to do things that weren't treatment. So there's that part too. And that, I mean, you could blame Trump for that because that was under his administration that those policies were fucking written out. So if you want to blame Trump for anything, I would say it's the fucking initial COVID. He had some bad advice and he listened to it. That's what I would say.
And then there was also a lot of governors themselves doing stupid shit. Look at DeWine here in Ohio. This fucker took what should have been a fourth COVID check at the state level and made the whole vax-a-million thing. That's when my mom's no longer here. My two of my uncles are gone now, too. Because that fucking asshole and the goddamn rest of the rhinos and Democrats, too, that pushed this fucking shit.
Well, I mean, certainly the safe and effective was extremely oversold to the American people. And a lot of people paid the price for that lie that was told that they believed, that they swallowed whole. And that's sad. That's fucking sad, you know?
There's personal responsibility, too. I mean, no one was forcefully jabbed.
It's true, but a lot of people were like, hey, if you don't take this, then you're going to lose your position that you worked your entire life to get, which means now you're going to have to figure out how to live on the street. And you know what I mean? Like, that was the choice that was given to people. It's not like no one was forced to, but it's like, yeah, well, you can do what we want you to do or your children can starve. Is that forcing people? Not really.
You were forced because no one was hiring. So no one wanted to lose their fucking job.
Yeah, you weren't going to get anywhere close to what you were making if you had to leave, which, yeah.
Right. So is that coercion? 100%. Is that against the Geneva Convention to coerce people into taking an experimental medical procedure? Actually, specifically, it is. And what is the Geneva's Convention prescribed punishment for doing so? Does anyone know?
Death penalty.
Sorry.
That's right. It's the fucking death penalty.
Yeah, we were supposed to be testing this on Muslims first, God damn it.
Well, we got plenty of them.
We did in the past.
We got plenty of them in the country. Lab them up.
Well, it's my opinion that Anthony Fauci deserves to be fucking, like, put in a straitjacket and sat in front of a jury and a judge and have evidence brought against him and charged with high crimes, treason, anything that they can fucking throw at him, everything that they can throw at him. And probably death penalty would be the prescription. And then probably like 2 or 3 levels of separation off of him to deserve similar fates for what has happened, in my opinion. And that's the kind of shit when Trump's talking about retribution against the like people in government. I hope that's some like part of what he's talking about. You know what I mean? But again, maybe it's just Nazi shit, and I don't fucking know. But certainly, the only Nazi shit I've seen has come from fucking Joe Biden, and from people like Piers Morgan saying footballers who refuse to be jabbed should refuse treatment for injuries. After all, why should they trust doctors about treatments for broken legs and torn ligaments if they don't trust them about life-saving vaccines? And it was this kind of fucking holier than thou, smug, I know better than you, piece of shit, fucking looking down at my nose at other people for not doing what's right for humanity, even though I don't even fucking know. And I'm just a fucking tool of the government who's been lied to, who was paid for by fucking big pharma to lie to us so that they could make a metric shit ton of fucking money. And that's what it's always been about, guys. Just so you know, at least with the pharmaceutical company. Jesus. How much did they make off of COVID?
A fuck ton.
True.
And then there's, you know, like, oh, if you have a gunshot wound, you shouldn't be able to go to the hospital if you're not jabbed. And then there was like all the lies about like people taking ivermectin right? They're like, the hospitals are overwhelmed with people who've overdosed on ivermectin, which was 100% lie. Like, not even true at all. And they were like, people are dying in the hallways of gunshot wounds because they're treating the people of ivermectin. It was in Time Magazine they wrote this fucking article. 100% lie. Never fucking verified. Stock photos. People ate it up, swallowed it, regurgitated it like it was fucking truth, and like this holy fucking thing that you can't touch, dude. To this day, for years now, they still think that was the fucking reality of the situation, when the actual reality of the situation was the vaccine got emergency authorization, and the only way it has emergency authorization is if there's not a effective, widely received treatment that people can have as a prophylactic to keep you from getting that sick. And it turns out that this drug called ivermectin, which they already had under like different various generic fucking brands for 5 cents a pill, so they can't make shit for money off of it, is treating COVID pretty well, it seems. But we can't admit that, because then we have to admit that we can't have this emergency authorization for this vaccine, which isn't a vaccine, which we've made billions on.
I had to eat the fucking. It was like a gel form. Oh man, or like a putty. Ugh.
Yeah, well, the horse stuff was like apple flavored that I had.
It helped. It worked.
It certainly
I
did,
was
didn't it?
Sick as fuck, and then within a few days, I felt a lot better.
Yeah, same people who think Kyle Rittenhouse killed people of color because it was a Black Lives Matter protest.
Now, just a minute. Old Daddy
Speaking of
Biden,
which, Rittenhouse is now doing training scenarios for his 4th anniversary.
He should do the Rittenhouse shoot, where he's got to reenact what he did. How fucked up would that be? All right, here comes Rosenbaum. 2 in the chest, 1 in the head. Go.
We gotta fall first. You gotta
No, run. There's people chasing you. Here's the fucking skateboard. Duck.
Now, guys,
clear your jam.
Jump kick man's coming in.
Here comes the skateboard.
Biden can't be a racist. He pets black people.
Oh, I wonder
No,
what that
they
was.
rub his
But
leg.
they fed him.
Oh yeah.
I can't believe they took this post down. So there was a post about a Muslim neighborhood where they are killing dogs and like fucking trying to go after people and tell them they can't have dogs because dogs are dirty in the Muslim religion.
Fuck that.
And I was like, dude, if I lived in that neighborhood, I would buy a dozen dogs. I would turn into fucking soulless ginger.
Dog whisperer.
I'd just have dogs everywhere, like biting my wife and shit. I don't care. It's the fucking Muslims that I don't want to piss off. Man, I'm pissing everyone off tonight. Sorry, everybody.
We're gonna end up like France and have like ghettos, like enclave no-go zones.
Well,
Yeah,
there already
speaking
is
of
those
France,
places here in
they just-
America, dude. Just look at the one part of Michigan there.
Yeah, speaking of France,
Where,
they just voted for more of the same. So
Khalid lives.
So here's the lie about the immunity, right? The president does not have immunity. Do you know why he doesn't have immunity? Because there's a way that he can be prosecuted for high crimes and treason and shit. How do you do that? Do you just have some prosecutor in some state like New York have some charges for something that happened and file charges against an ex-president or sitting president because of something he did? No, that's not the way it works. The way it works is first you have to have a vote and impeach him. And then you have to have a vote and remove him. And after he's been impeached and removed from office, you can, at that point, then charge the president for crimes for which he was impeached and removed. That's how you do it. That's the only way it's ever been done. That's always been the interpretation of how presidential immunity should work, and that's what the Supreme Court upheld.
Oh.
We're going to need you to pay more taxes on this, T. We're going to need you to suck our star-spangled ding-dongs.
Isn't Hostess in Mexico now?
God damn it.
Look at this picture.
It just keeps getting better. I like the cat.
Obama in address. That's the best part. Being taught to avoid talking about politics and religion has led to a lack of understanding of politics and religion. What we should have been taught was how to have a civil conversation about difficult topics.
Mm-hmm.
And how to critically think and be able to reason and logic and use language to resolve problems, discourse rather than violence. Because if you don't have discourse, what do you have?
Well, that's why I think that's why the First Amendment was first.
And that's why I'm so against
Talk
the
it
left.
over before you have to grab the gun.
Like, who's going after the First Amendment more? Right. I mean, at all. Like, not the right at this point. They were in the 90s. They were in the early 2000s, you know? But these days, it's the left. And they're not going after... Like, in the 90s, it was, like, decency speech. Like, oh, you're saying too many cuss words in a rap song, and we can't have that on the fucking airwaves or whatever, right?
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, too much blood in a video game, exactly. But now it's political speech, which is, I think, specifically the most important type of speech. That was the thought of why the First Amendment is important. Because if you're not allowed to have political speech and talk about things candidly and speak your mind without repercussions of law, then you don't have a country anymore. You're not able to actually address problems. And that's where we're at. This wasn't a poll, but this was Elon Musk asking, do you think the 2020 election was stolen from Trump? A, yes. B, no. And if you go down here, I scrolled for like 15 minutes and I did not find a single person who said B without joking. Oh, give me a second. I'm getting a phone call.
Talk amongst ourselves. Duke, you still awake, baby? Okay, that's a no.
So France officially elected an Antifa terrorist to their parliament now.
All right.
Yep.
And one of the French leaders said as of today they're going to recognize Arabic as an official language in France.
Yep, that's what I was stating about earlier. France has lost. The UK lost because the Labour Party won the most of the seats.
This is like the first time in world history I'm actually scared that some of these countries have nuclear weaponry at this point.
You'll be fine. It's just Ohio.
The West is giving up.
Hey, we have a fuck ton of sites in this state that are targetable, dude.
Like East Palestine.
No, there's like legitimately like various military installations here that they would target. One of them's actually right around me too.
You know that's
all right, guys. Let me hit the microphone.
You good? All right. Stay beautiful.
Penis.
They already blew up Ohio's train tracks. They have nothing left.
Holy shit! How many stories do I have?
That is a big thing that I'm afraid of in Nebraska. Is almost every railway actually goes through here, so it's really hard to move large amounts of like food/military equipment without rail.
So here we have the anti-gun people in Colorado who ran all the anti-gun bills, who were up for re-election, who got defeated and were not re-elected. Specifically this motherfucker right here. He was the guy that I kept seeing in the hallway of the fucking Capitol building when I was there. Ex-teacher, current communist, fucking piece of shit.
Good.
Well, that's awesome.
the guy that wanted to be the first Gen Xer.
You mean Gen Zer?
Yeah, excuse me. Z.
Yeah, he was the first Gen Z.
Someone supposedly recorded a ghost.
That is some freaky shit, though.
It's just a fart.
Like, what is that? I don't fucking know.
Must be a gay ghost with all the rainbows.
Yeah.
They filmed it in Pride Month.
Yeah, that's Pride Month ghost.
I think we should have a high-speed rail system in this country, like they do in every other. Like even Japan has it, and it's the size of California, bro. Like, why don't we have a high-speed rail system where the trains go like 300 miles an hour through the Midwest?
You know why?
Money, corruption, all that.
Well, I mean, if they really wanted to do things that were good for the environment and improve people's lives,
Yeah, but
it's a no-brainer.
the companies in charge of that shit don't want that.
Dude, there was even a study where they showed that they could use existing tracks and just like with slight modifications, fucking be able to do this kind of thing, and they still won't do it.
That is the oil. That, unfortunately, that's the bad part of the oil business.
Yeah, you're right.
It would be cool as an option. For
Yeah, a lot
cheaper
of our
travel.
train tracks, they would have to
See
be
a lot of your-
updated for these things
No,
anyway.
like here in the Northwest, I could work in Seattle and fucking live near Portland. I could work in Idaho and live fucking where I do in Vancouver. It would open up the entire north. I could even work in certain parts of California if I, for some reason, wanted to.
MSB said that the high-speed rail map totally skipped Alabama. Smart.
They were actually talking about doing one here at a state level a while ago where we take all of our major cities and connect them to like all the smaller towns and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think we want our crime being up and over the place though.
It'd open up the job market. It actually might lower crime.
It could.
So here's another
Like,
thing that
there's good and
Chevron
bad of it.
difference would change. These little miniature trucks that you can get from Japan for they're like $4,000 for these little work trucks. And they only go like 35, 45 miles an hour, something like that. So you can't really drive it on a highway, but on side roads or as like a work truck around town.
Inner city truck, right? Yeah, yeah.
Or like a farm truck or something.
They
And
use a
they're
lot of
great little fucking vehicles, dude.
Yeah, they use a lot of those to deliver different pop and drinks and stuff like that to little mini mart places.
They use those out here all the time for out on the farm. Irrigation.
Yeah, I
and
see them a
stuff.
bit around.
So here's shipping ships, container ships, whatever, on the open seas dealing with piracy and what they have to do with razor wire and all those fucking things on the outside. And then there's dudes with guns on the boat. What kind of gun would you have if you were defending against pirates?
AR-15.
I think you'd want a little bit more range than that, though, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I'd say probably 308, honestly.
You can't shoot them. You can't shoot them that far out.
RPK.
Or 16 Barrett.
Something in 338 Lapua Magnum. Preferably semi-auto.
That's why I
my
said the
answer.
416.
Oh, there you go. So we
Have you
agree.
got a 416? That rocks my shoulder, bro.
Dude, look at this guy flying above the clouds with a bed sheet.
Oh, he's dead. That's fine.
Like if that thing, like a little seagull comes around and fucking decides to land on your bed sheet. You get about maybe 2 or 3 minutes of falling. I don't know how long do you fall at that height?
Well, you might go a little quicker depending on how fast you shit your pants.
Terminal velocity is terminal velocity.
He's a big boy. He's in trouble up there. Oh my lord.
Tactical muffin flyer.
Fuck no.
Yeah, that's fucking terrifying, bro. I'd want to descend. I would want to get back down to terrible. All right. I gotta end this soon. I got a buddy that I gotta call. I'm dealing with some shit.
Yeah.
You got to see a guy about something.
Okay, so this chick, she flies to, where is this, Turkey, to get medical procedures done. She gets x-rays, she gets vitamins, she gets like testing done, blood tests, like all of these different things, which would cost hundreds of dollars a piece in America, right? Like spa day, they take care of her, put her up in a like 5-star hotel, fucking give her like fancy food and stuff, all this crap, right? And at the end, I forget how much, $810 is what she paid. Like, I'm going to fucking Turkey and having them check me out.
How much is the penis extension and the liposuction?
Well, you get to stay on a beach.
Yeah, but doesn't their government own most business?
Yeah, well,
Or
take
have their
advantage
hand,
of that.
or have their hand in it for the most
I
part.
feel as though there's something to that.
That may be a psyop.
So by having
Like-
your health checked for
Yeah.
cheap or supporting terrorism, is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just. I mean, we don't like socialist stuff here at all.
Damn right we don't.
Yeah.
Well, and I get it because our government is fucking incompetent.
I mean, if I could get $810 worth of medical stuff done here, that would change, like, reassure me and make sure that I'm healthy and, you know.
The amount of money that we pay in taxes should provide shit like that, but it don't.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't.
Well, that's because we got to pay for everybody who doesn't work sitting on their ass and all their 18 fucking kids and a bunch of other shit.
Yeah, but it's the same place. Other countries that have a free market and social services, they pay for the same shit and they're doing okay.
Is this true?
We have more corruption. We have more corruption than what they do. I'm with Honda. I love my country, but our government's fucked.
Mm-hmm.
Suicide hotline number on the back of a tax collection envelope is peak Americanism.
Yeah, pretty much.
In Ohio.
Yeah, in Ohio of all places. Oh, and we'll end with this. Did you guys see this? This is fake.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know who Kai Sent is.
He's a big streamer.
Yeah.
He's a Twitch streamer.
Huge Twitch streamer.
So apparently this guy Twitch streams from this room all the time. And Mr. Beast got with him and they built a set of exactly the same room and then did this to make everyone think that they burned down a house.
What the fuck?
I'm surprised YouTube didn't take it down for community guidelines.
No, they're getting a whole bunch of money from these guys. They want people to watch this stupid shit, not anything that can actually make you intellectual.
Right, because this will get pushed forward and everyone will watch it. But if you talk about thimerosal and, atrazine and fucking Roundup Ready, what's that shit called?
Yeah, plus this is Twitch.
Glyphosate, thank you. All that shit.
And plus this is Twitch, not YouTube. I mean, actually, Twitch would take your video down faster than YouTube.
That's a lot of fireworks.
But the whole argument for taking down gun videos, like Yankees live stream how he pets one of his revolvers, is because it's dangerous, potentially hazardous activity.
No, unfortunately, it's because some douchebag fucking did a mass shooting live streaming.
The guy in New Zealand.
Well, all right, boys.
Yeah, Christchurch.
It is time. It is time to end the rhyme and the chat, for that matter. I had fun. I hope you guys did too. We went through a lot of stories tonight. That's what happens when I don't do a chat for a while. Like my Twitter builds up, and I fucking bust a huge ass load and like that. Sorry about that, everybody. I made a mess. Someone get some paper towels.
It's in my eye.
Did you hear about that chick who died from bukkake? Yeah. Anyway.
What?
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Look it up. It happened in Japan like a month ago. We'll see you guys next time. Deuces, y'all shall not be in fridge. Are you doing a chat tomorrow, Matt?
Oh, of course.
We'll see you on the Never Enough Butthole chat on Monday night at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock Eastern time, 9 o'clock Eastern time. I don't know what time. Whatever time it is, we'll be there.
Hit that like button.
At the time that it is, that's when we'll be there, at that time. And we'll see you then. Goodbye.
Penis, everybody. Penis.
Scuba to Shabba to Nada pressure. Batacath care. Prec the troops. And also...
True international to pressure.
We'll see you guys next time.
Here's up.